Hey everyone, welcome back to Bachelor Happy Hour. I'm Joe,
And I'm Serena.
and we are here with another episode. This is a special episode because we don't have a guest. Serena's my guest. Actually,
And
well,
I'm
you're,
your guest.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you're my
I'm
guest.
your guest, and I'm your
Yeah.
guest. How we doing today?
We're doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. So we're gonna, for our listeners, we're gonna break this down into three segments. We're gonna first talk a little bit about ourselves because we are so interesting, and then we have segment two where we're gonna have our hot takes on what's going on in Bachelor Nation right now, and then segment three, we're just gonna talk about the upcoming season of Bachelor in Paradise. Okay, so Serena you finally got approved for your green card, which I don't think people understand what a lengthy process this has been. We
Yeah.
started it, what, like 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago?
Well, we got married at the courthouse in October of 2022. Yeah, 2022. October 27th, 2022 was our official date of marriage. And we essentially started the process right away. That doesn't mean the application got submitted immediately, but we worked with our immigration lawyers to get everything prepared and filed. So yeah, it basically started immediately. So it's been a 2.5 year process, which from some of the DMs I've received from other people that have gone through it, that seems to be kind of how it goes. Like some people obviously got it faster. Some people were like more on the 3 year mark, but I did have a lot of people say it took me about 2.5 years as well.
But you also chose the option where you could go back and forth to Canada as much as you'd like.
Yes. So some people do the process where they cannot leave the country. Like I know someone that did it and you basically are stuck in the US. You cannot leave until your application has been approved. And I know that that's a lot faster of an option. I think we're looking at closer to the 1 year mark. But for me, having family in Canada and so many of my close friends being there and elderly grandparents, I was like, that's just not an option that is going to work for me. So I would rather this take a longer period of time. I was on a work visa, we had options, and yeah, I think that was the right decision looking back. I don't regret it, even though it was a long, draining process.
Yeah. So a few actually for the green card process, there really wasn't that many bumps around, just a lot of paperwork that comes along with it that you had to do. I mean, you put together a binder that's as big as an encyclopedia. I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't even think I have that many files about myself.
If anyone needs me to prove that Joe and I's marriage is for the right reasons, I can do it. I have a binder ready to show you.
Yeah, it's actually I have to look through that. I might look through that one night. But we go to Montreal, which was my first time going to Montreal, and it's a beautiful city. Jesus Christ, I mean, I said city or province, and people are uprising.
Well, it
Um,
is so funny because, well, Canadians are proud people. And I think that we, are maybe more low key about it than Americans' pride for their country, but we are so proud to be Canadian. I'm so proud to be Canadian. I feel like, being Canadian is a part of who I am. But like, they're just defensive, and it is ironic because we learned so much about America and American geography as Canadians, and you guys just learned nothing. But at the same time, as someone who's so bad at geography, I did not expect people to come for you the way they did when you post on social media calling it a city or a province.
I
Because also Quebec is a province, but then there's Quebec City, which is a city. So like,
I also just pick up my phone and talk, like I could have been like talking about like we could have been in like San Francisco and I would have been like this city or town or whatever it is. Like, like I don't know. I was just
yeah,
talking fast. I didn't give it much thought, but Jesus.
clearly.
Um yeah, clearly. Clearly. So for all the people I offended, I'm not really sorry, but next time I
Now you
won't.
know to call it a city.
Yeah, next time. Yeah, now I know to call it city. Um but yeah, beautiful. I love Montreal. Great
What was your
food.
favorite part of Montreal?
I just I do really I like the look of old Montreal. I like the cobblestone streets. I like all like the designs of a lot of the restaurants. I thought the restaurants and the food was excellent. Like I liked everywhere we went for the most part was good, except the bagels. Bagels can't compare to New York bagels. Like not even in like
No.
that. Like for even to be in the same discussion, they're not even in the same discussion. Um,
I actually can agree with that. I mean, they're kind of hard to compare because obviously they're just a different style of bagel, but the bagel sandwich that you got, like the lack of effort put into it, it looked gross. Like it grossed me out looking at it. And you would just never catch that happening in New York at any of the bagel
oh,
shops. I just feel like there's so much more pride around the bagels there.
oh,
It was
it
gross.
was
It
actually
really, and that
gross.
takes a lot for me to say.
It was
Like
actually
for
gross.
me to call something gross, I don't feel like I use that word a lot about food. And I was really grossed out by what you were eating.
But the smoked meat sandwich was really good
Delicious.
from Schwartz's. But
Yes. And then
yes,
Joe Beef lived up to the hype. Absolutely. I loved it.
but Montrose, but we were a little. Serena was very. You were very stressed. You were very anxious.
Yeah.
You have your big binder. We feel pretty good, but you keep saying like I feel like something's gonna go wrong. I'm like
I
I
know.
I am in my head. I'm like I wouldn't even. I would have showed up with like the minimum, and I feel like you have gone like over the top with what you're bringing. So
I have.
I'm like you are definitely be gonna be good. And then we
Well,
wake
and I've
up.
been working for so long on it too, and like just ensuring everything is like ready to go and having like I'm literally blowing up my immigration lawyer's email every single day. Like I've been working with this girl for like years and she's probably never heard from me this much because I'm just like it's expensive too, right? Like we're paying to fly out there, we're paying for the hotels, we're paying for Ubers, and like as much as we ended up trying to make it a little bit more of like a fun getaway, and at times it was like there is this underlying impending doom all week about the, you know, the star of the show, which is the green card interview.
Yep. And then you walk in. I have to leave you. I can't even go in. Initially, I was like, this is going to be like the movie Proposal.
Yeah.
Um,
If you guys
and
have seen that movie, Sandra
mm,
Bullock and Ryan Reynolds, she's a Canadian, and the movie ends with like this green card interview scene. It almost feels like a random little, it's like with the credits. And
yeah.
they're both in this room being interviewed together, kind of proving that they know each other and being interviewed about each other separately and all this stuff.
Yeah. I was like, I was so ready for that. And then we get there, but then I knew right
But
beforehand.
we knew
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
we got there you weren't
Yeah.
going to be going in with me. I didn't know you wouldn't be allowed in the building. I thought you'd be able to come sit in the waiting room with me. And they were like, "Sir, step outside. This place is not for you. You already are a US citizen."
Government buildings are no joke.
They are no joke.
You're just not getting in. So yeah, so I go out, I get like I go to Mindy's or Mandy's.
Oh, did you go to Mandy's again?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I just went and got a smoothie. I got like a
Oh,
cherry protein smoothie and I was waiting for
Mandy's
you.
salads.
Yeah. And then about 35
Wait,
minutes.
fun fact for people listening. This is so random, but Vanessa Grimaldi, who was engaged to Nick Viall from his season The Bachelor, it's her sister-in-laws who own Mandy Salads. So if you ever go to Toronto or Montreal, they're in both places. And it's like, it's a great little spot. But
Oh
just
yeah, I
like a
forgot.
random tie back to Bachelor Nation.
Yeah, yeah, I forgot about that. Um, so then yeah, yeah, good place. And then Serena texts me, I don't have all the paperwork. And then she calls me and I could just hear it in her voice. And I walk back over and you're standing outside and you break down and you start crying. And I'm like, oh no, oh no, this is bad. This is bad.
Oh, I know. And honestly, I held it together in there, obviously, because there's just nothing I can do. I was working with inaccurate information of thinking I was fully prepared when I wasn't. And yeah, there was just nothing I knew. I didn't have what was necessary for them
One,
to let
one,
me proceed
one,
with the interview.
only one file, only one document, really.
Yes, I was told that an electronic printout of this document would be fine. It was the police check. They needed the original police check that was mailed to me. There's like a longer story behind this situation, but you know, we don't have time for it. The gist is I needed the original police check that was mailed to me and I didn't have it. And there was just nothing they could do. There was nothing I could do. And they said, like, look, we're sorry. This happens sometimes. You're gonna have to rebook. You're gonna have to come back. We can't proceed with the interview without this document. And I was like, okay, thank you. The girl was really nice. Like she obviously felt bad. They don't want to turn you away, obviously. I mean, I would hope not. I'm standing in front of her. She knows that I'm like hopeful to do this interview and she knows that obviously a mistake has been made and it is what it is. So I was just like, okay, trying to get all the information. Disappointment is hitting me. I'm like realizing like this whole buildup of anxiety and stress is like, I'm not going to get to the finish line today, which I've been waiting for 2.5 years. I go outside and I literally, the minute I see Joe, I break down. Because honestly, it was just like, I just feel like my anxiety was crashing and also just such a disappointing moment. Like I felt so disappointed, so bummed out, and just like, I cannot believe I have to do this all over again. And now I have no confidence in myself that I'm going to do it correctly.
It was, yeah, it was really disappointing. But we were able to make an appointment the following week. You had to fly back to Toronto and get the one document that you had at your dad's office. We get that you get that document, you fly back, and then you get approved.
Yep. Yep. Joe was in Chicago. We had already planned after the interview that I was going to fly to Toronto. He was going to fly to Chicago. We were going to spend some family time. So I already had a flight booked. I got what I needed. And then my mom had some points and she was nice enough to come out with me, which originally I was like, I feel like as an like adult, you're like, it's fine. Like I can just do this myself. I'll just figure it out. Like it's fine. Having my mom there was the best thing ever. Like I just like sometimes you're like, I just need my mom, and she's amazing in those situations. Obviously, I would have loved for you to be there, Joe, but that just didn't make as much sense. And yeah, it all worked out. And I'm
It
so
worked
relieved. I'm
out.
so happy. And I'm literally after this podcast going to pick up my passport so that I can re-enter the US and declare that I have a green card and a permanent residency.
Yay. Okay. Clap,
Yay.
clap. What a
Clap, clap,
wonderful.
clap.
So, the story ends with a lovely ending.
A lovely
Serena gets
ending.
her green card, and we are good.
And for those asking, I still am a Canadian citizen and I'm not a US citizen now. So I'll be a Canadian citizen with a green card, which is essentially just it's like a spousal visa. Like it's a long visa. I have it for, I believe, 10 years now. I'll have to renew it, or I can eventually then apply for US citizenship, which then I would have dual citizenship. But we are not even thinking that far ahead right now. I'm just trying to sit in the relief that I get a break from immigration stuff for a hot minute.
And for those asking, I do now know that Montreal is a city. Okay, moving on to segment two, hot takes, which over the past few weeks we have discussed some of these, but we'll we'll talk about them a little more, and then we'll move on to upcoming Paradise, which we're all excited for because we've had a full year break, and some big changes in Paradise. So I can't wait to see what that's going to end up being. But um, Bachelor Nation, there was obviously there was no Bachelorette. That was X'd. Um, there was rumors that it was potentially Maria. Rumors that I thought it was going to be Latia because it just seemed like she had gotten her heart broken at the end. That maybe she wasn't ready. But yeah, I think my hot take would be like Victoria Fuller for Bachelorette. I
Well,
think
did
that
you
was
see I think Nick I think Victoria Fuller was on Vile Files talking about this as well at one point.
okay. Okay, that makes sense. Maybe that's where the rumor came from then.
I think that's where I heard it
Okay.
from because I remember scrolling and seeing that they were saying, "Oh, there was rumors that you were in talks to do this."
Okay. Yeah, I heard it from our podcast. I think I think like you said it. So yeah,
Maybe.
yeah. I think that's where
It's just me spreading the rumor, guys.
yeah, I think that's where I heard it from. But yeah, like I said it. I think I said it last week or 2 weeks ago. But yeah, I think that would be she would be the pick if you were going to pick a past contestant to be a lead. I think that's who you go with.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's a hot take. I mean, I'm sure there are people that disagree with it, so maybe, but I think we've thrown her name out here like a million times on this podcast. I mean, I think a lead who has some experience is always great. She's been on The Bachelor, she's been on Paradise, she's been in a Bachelor Nation relationship with Greg Grippo. She's in her late 20s, I believe.
Yeah.
She has a house, 2 dogs. Like she's got the life. She's ready to go. And I mean, she obviously was very iconic on Pete's season of The Bachelor. So yeah, I don't know. I think the argument against her, if we're talking about this as a hot take, would be that she brings a lot of drama to your television screen. And some people prefer it to be a little bit of a cleaner, simpler, more straightforward love story. But we don't feel that way here. That's
Do
not
you
our
think
preference.
do you think we'll see Greg in Paradise?
Oh, good question. Yeah, I think that's possible.
Do you?
Yeah, do you?
I don't know. I feel like Greg is just been out of it for so long. I don't see him coming back.
Maybe not.
But you never know. Bachelor Nation, Stagecoach, that just seems to be a thing that's growing stronger and stronger every year. I will say a tie back to our last episode with Bachelor Data, some analytics for you. When my agency gave me back like the back end of my analytics for my social media, like one of the number one things like my Instagram following.
Wait, can I pause you for a second?
Yeah.
Is Bachelor Nation Stagecoach your hot take? Like, is
Yeah,
that the
that's
headline?
yeah, that's a hot take. Yeah.
But what is the hot take? Like, that's just a topic.
Yeah, well, that's the topic. That is the
Okay.
that's the hot.
Do you know what a hot take is? Like, Victoria Fuller Bachelorette, like, we could spin it as a hot take, I guess, but Bachelor Nation Stagecoach, are you like, yay, nay? Like, what's your opinion on it? What's the take?
Oh, okay. The take is meh. I just feel like whatever about it.
Like, you don't love it or hate it. You feel like people should stop like hating on Bachelor Nation for going to Stagecoach, or you think that they should
Do
stop going to
they
Stagecoach? I
do
don't
they
know.
hate do they
I'm just
hate on
looking for your take.
do they hate on Bachelor Nation for going? Do they hate on it? Do
I
they
don't know. I don't know.
Okay, let's say they did. Let's say they did.
Do you
Um,
think that, do you like it or dislike it that so much of Bachelor Nation goes to Stagecoach every year?
I could
And
care less.
your take is I could care less.
Okay, but going back to analytics about Stagecoach is
Yeah.
that's like our like the number my number one following is like country. Like if I post country, anything with country or country music, um, it's more likely people will engage with my content because they follow like majority like country,
Yeah,
which
to
I
break
thought,
this down a little clearer, Joe and I got some back end analytics on our followers, which is always super cool and interesting for us to find out like what people who follow us are interested in. And one of the number one categories was country music. Like it
yeah.
wasn't even like in the music category. I think it was just that alone was a category people love, which is country music, which is kind of funny. Neither of us, I like country music, but I wouldn't say like either of us post a lot about it, but it would align with why Stagecoach content for a lot of Bachelor Nation does so well if the Bachelor Nation audience are all really big country music fans, which also makes sense based on where the demographic of the audience typically comes from.
Here's my hot take. My hot take is I don't like country music. I don't like country music, and I don't like seeing country content. Keep your country hats away from my page.
Your cowboy
Cowboy
hats.
hats, cowboy country.
You hate country music so much you don't even know what the icon is called. Cowboy hats.
Okay, hot take, hot take, hot take. People have been throwing out there, and this will kind of leak into our Paradise segment. Um, that you know because they're mixing Golden with regular Bachelor Nation contestants for Bachelor in Paradise, could someone hook up from Golden with a regular contestant? My hot take is I love that. I love that hot take.
No, that's not how it works.
Then
That's
you
not
say
how
it.
it works.
Then you choose the
Okay,
hot
so
take.
like no, you're onto something here. So my hot take, if we're talking about the topic of golden contestants and regular season contestants mix and mingling, getting romantic, my hot take would be that I'm totally fine with it. Which I would say most people, it's a hot
Wow.
take because most people are like, ew, that's gross. I hope that doesn't happen. I don't want that. And
Okay.
it's so I'm going against the majority and saying that my hot take is that I'm having literally no issue if that happens.
Wow, you don't, huh? That is a hot take, Serena. That is a hot take.
Are you
I could,
sure? You don't even know what a hot take is.
yeah. Well, this shocked me. So, do we think there's a world where that does happen?
Okay, so this is what I think. I think, based on society and what we are comfortable with when it comes to age gaps, I think that people will be much less supportive if it's one of the golden men and one of the younger girls
For sure, that's
than if it's one of
guaranteed.
the golden girls and the younger guys, because, that's just those two things are viewed in different ways. I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, it's definitely on the risque or side. Do I think that they're going to go to the boom boom room? That would be wild. And I don't think that's going to happen, even though, like, again, I'm so for it. But I could see, like, we've got a young guy come in and take one of the golden women on a date. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like, I could see
definitely.
them like talking one of the guys into being like, what do you think about Leslie? Like, I feel like she'd be so good for this date. Like, I feel like you guys would hit it off. So my thing is, like, if one of these 56-year-old men ends up hitting it off with one of the 20-year-olds, is that uncomfortable? Definitely. That man could be your father. But if it's naturally happening and it's two consenting adults, like, let that play out. Let it play out. Let's see how it goes. Like, totally, it's not the usual, and it's definitely kind of scandalous, but, like, I would rather see something organically happen and it be kind of like taboo and uncomfortable than see something like forced just for the sake of being like, we've got a golden and a non-golden connection.
Let us see it. Let us see it. It's reality TV. That's what we want to watch. Um, okay, moving on past hot takes. To segment three, upcoming Paradise. This was the show that we met. Some changes, a location change, which I feel personally. So they are now filming in Costa Rica. That's a little sad for us because if we ever do get invited back and we have the time to go, like, it's not going to be the same place we met.
I
So
know. Like, knowing that the last time we were there is probably the last time we'll ever be there, and it is like the place that we like met, fell in love, got engaged, like a huge part of our history. It is sad. Like, I like seeing that on the screen. It makes me feel so sentimental and nostalgic, and I feel like that's got to be a lot of Paradise couples feel that way. And you know, we
a
do have so much
bunch.
history there, and we do have a
Yeah.
lot of Paradise couples. But we were just in Costa Rica, and we did love it.
Love Costa Rica. Love Costa Rica. But yeah, I kind of yeah, it's a little sad. The other mix is what we just talked about, so we could blow past that, the golden people being there. And Hannah Brown coming down is like a champagne room waitress slash I mean cocktail server. What's
I
so
think
funny?
she's waitress. Have you ever seen wait staff in Paradise?
Well, I never seen Hannah Brown in Paradise either, so that's new. I personally I like Hannah Brown. I think she's great.
Yeah, she's been on our podcast a
Um,
few times, and she's always so great.
I don't know how many like co-hosts we need on this show at this point. Like we are now like Jesse Palmer, Wells, Hannah Brown. Um,
But I get what you're saying. I mean, I love Hannah Brown. I actually think she's a great fit for this, and I'm excited to see what she brings to the show down there. I also thought, like, she hosted a
yeah, she
date
was
or
great when she
two.
did that.
She did
Yeah,
like that True Circle. She was so good. Like, I
yeah.
feel really positively about that casting. Obviously, I'd feel more positively if it was one of us, but no shame, no shade. We love Hannah Brown, and we are very happy for her. And I guess my question is more just like, okay, so we've got Hannah Brown in this like champagne room. I'm thinking maybe it's gonna be like she comes out during rose ceremonies and it's like a specialty bar situation and people go chat to her. But obviously we don't know exactly what that entails yet. But like there's only so much screen time. So like now we're not only dividing it up between regular contestants and golden contestants, we're now adding we got Jesse Palmer Wells and we're adding Hannah Brown.
Yeah.
So it's like how big of a role is hers going to be? Is that going to impact the amount we see Wells? Is that going to impact the amount we get to see of the actual like drama and relationships amongst the contestants?
And you have the golden contestants too.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like
So
we
now,
have
so yeah, there's
a
just
lot.
I just feel like there is a lot
We're
going
doing a
on.
lot. Like I know we're trying to come back bigger and better than ever, and it's like we have a new location, we got a new bartender, and we got golden contestants. But it's like, are we doing too much? Are we trying to do too much? Like Paradise was good before. I know we took a year off and that was necessary, but like we got a lot of good contestants coming this season. I feel optimistic on that alone. And I feel like there's like more surprises to come potentially. So I'm feeling like optimistic, but also like a little hesitant. Like, how much is changing? How much are we trying to add? Like, why are we doing so much?
I agree. I agree. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Um, do we want to throw out a few potential matches?
Yeah. Well, we've had some people come
But
on
like
and
but like a strong one. Like really don't just like throw some random one. I want one that you actually really believe could
well,
happen.
I don't know who's going. So that kind
Well
of
you
makes
got
it hard. Like once I see the cast list, I could really start drafting some predictions, but
well, okay, so I will say
I'm gonna go
yeah,
Alex and Jonathan.
Alex. Okay. Okay, so that's
And
but that's a good prediction because I would assume
yes.
both of that. Well, we know for sure Jonathan's going to be there.
Yes. And I think
Uh,
it's fair to say Alex is very likely going to be there as well, unless she's met someone quietly and we don't
okay.
know about it. And I actually think those two would hit it off. I think that once people start throwing couple predictions around, those people start to get curious. And I feel like I've heard people say Alex and Jonathan. So there's no way that Alex isn't like checking out Jonathan and Jonathan's not checking out Alex.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say I'm trying to think of another guy that I think would be there. Who was the last season? Oh, okay, okay,
Jen's
okay. Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
So
yeah,
like
okay.
Hakeem, Hakeem, Jonathan,
All right, I'm gonna
Spencer.
throw a random one out there.
Okay.
Sam from Jen season,
Which one?
the
N or
one
M?
the one that lasted longer.
Blondie.
Yeah, kind of got a little bit the villain edit. Yeah, I'm gonna go Sam M and Zoe.
What? No, 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 no,
I
no,
just said
no,
it's gonna be. I
no.
just said it's a crazy one, and I'm
That's a
throwing,
hot take, Joe. That is a hot take.
and I'm sticking with it, and I'm sticking with it. Um,
I don't know if I see it, but I mean, I love an unpredictable couple. So I'm always for that happening.
out of the people that we know for sure that are going to be there, so we know Zoe's going to be there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We know Hakeem's going to be there,
Mm-hmm.
and we know Jonathan's going to be there. Those are the three
Yeah.
we know for
And we know
certain.
Leslie and Gary from Golden.
Leslie and Gary, yes. Is there out of any of those people, do we think someone's going to do very well, and someone in that group is it's not going to be their environment?
I don't think any of the people that are already cast are going to get engaged.
Wow.
I
Okay, so
don't
you
think,
don't think? Okay,
yeah.
interesting. Okay, I'm gonna say I think Jonathan does get engaged.
Really? Okay, I
Yeah,
like it. I mean, I hope they all get engaged, you know?
yeah. That's what I think. I think, yeah, I think he gets engaged.
Well, they announced that it's airing July 5th, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So, filming, Wells posted on his story the other day saying bye to Sarah that he's heading to Costa Rica and filming is starting, either has started or is starting soon. And before you know it, it's going to be July 5th, which I'm happy about. I'm happy it's airing earlier this year,
yeah. Me
especially because
too.
we didn't have the Bachelorette. So we've had a little bit of a breather from Bachelor. And then, we've got the new Golden Bachelor right around the corner. So yeah, I'm excited. And I'm excited to see the full cast list because that's always
Me
fun.
too. The
There's always
cast
some
photo.
surprises. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Well, this was a very fun episode. Thank you guys for tuning in, and make sure you stay tuned and download and subscribe to Bachelor Happy Hour.
Thanks so much for listening. We'll have more exclusive interviews and new fun episodes coming your way. Bye.